So George Creel's Committee on Public Information is formed. The goal of the Committee on Public Information is to provide propaganda. We want to get all Americans on board with the war effort, so there is going to be a huge push, lots of propaganda, lots of posters trying to get people on board with the war effort. So here I'm going to show you a couple of examples. I mean, I know you've all seen this first poster. I want you for the U.S. Army. Defend your country, enlist now in the United States. The Navy is calling, enlist now. And this one, you see the headline on the bottom of the newspaper, Huns kill women and children, tell that to the Marines. So these different forms of propaganda are trying to get people on board with the war effort. Now, at this point, the war is going very badly for the people of Russia. Like I showed you earlier, the war is being fought on two fronts. And so both sides of Germany. On the Western Front, you have Britain and France fighting against Germany. On the Eastern Front, it's just Russia. And so soldiers killed, missing, wounded, food shortages. And that's when the Tsar is overthrown and Lenin takes over in Russia. Lenin is a communist, and he led the Bolshevik Party, and he pulls Russia out of World War I. So with that, now Germany can focus all of its troops on the Western Front. And now this is a crucial time. It was very important that we get involved with the war, and the arrival of fresh American soldiers and supplies is going to raise Allied morale at a very critical point. By October of 1918, the German government knew the war was over. Turkey, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, they have all already pulled out of war. And so we are able to get Germany to in the war, November 11th, 1918. Germany is going to sign an armistice with the Allies, an armistice and end to fighting. Now, the Great War, as it was referred to as, was a total war. What is meant by total war, I'm sure you all remember, is that it not only military are being targeted. I mean, it is a total war. 9 million soldiers, 5 million civilians are going to die during this war. We are going to have new types of war materials, artillery, poison gas, grenades, machine guns. They are going to lead to trench warfare during this war. The United States, like I said, we reluctantly entered the war after 3 years of being neutral. We played more of a supportive, not a central role in the war. Our soldiers were only engaged in battle for about 8 months, and our casualties in the war were only about 6%. So very much a supportive role. But World War I had a huge impact on the American economic, political, and cultural home front. The next thing we're going to talk about is what happened over here, meaning here in America. Over there is the war effort, and over here in America, what was going on. Now, to win over there, the United States had to mobilize over here back home. Like I was just talking about, Wilson began this massive propaganda campaign that was aimed at winning over American public support to the war effort. That Committee on Public Information is going to ask for voluntary censorship in the press. They're going to employ 75,000 4-minute men who are going to go give speeches across the country, 4-minute long speeches to encourage the war effort. You're going to have propaganda in motion pictures. Different films are going to be produced trying to encourage American support. This is going to lead to a lot of anti-German sentiment and some vigilantism. The anti-German sentiment, for example, we are going to stop calling hamburgers and instead refer to them as Liberty sandwiches, because Hamburg from Germany. Also sauerkraut, we're going to name it Liberty cabbage. Some German composers, Bach, Beethoven, Brahms, we're not going to play them in our symphonies. So these are different ways that we are showing how anti-German we are, this anti-German sentiment.